Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. In the interest of your safety and enjoyment of today's events, please listen to the following message. According to New York State law, there is no smoking in the event center. For your safety, please note that fire exits are clearly marked by exit signs. Kindly take a moment to identify the location of the fire exit nearest you, keeping in mind that it may be behind you. In the event of an emergency, an alarm will sound and you should calmly and safely exit the building at that time. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. In the interest of your safety and enjoyment of today's events, please listen to the following message. According to New York State law, there is no smoking in the event center. For your safety, please note that fire exits are clearly marked by exit signs. Kindly take a moment to identify the location of the fire exit nearest you, keeping in mind that it may be behind you. In the event of an emergency, an alarm will sound and you should calmly and safely exit the building at that time. Thank you.
I am Grand Marshal Fernando Guzman, and I call to order the commencement of the College of Community and Public Affairs and the Graduate School of Education of the State University of New York at Binghamton. Everyone, please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. We welcome you to join vocalists David Kaya and Emma Kleinberg in singing the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, take us that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated.
As president of Binghamton University, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the College of Community and Public Affairs and the Graduate School of Education commencement ceremony. This is a special ceremony as we bring together our master's and baccalaureate candidates for graduation, as well as their families and their friends. Congratulations to you all. You did it. Before proceeding with our program, I would like to welcome members of the Binghamton University Council who are joining us today. Linda Beamer, Catherine Grant Madigan, Dennis McCabe, and Ryan Shepard, student representative. Thank you for being here. I would also like to introduce our other special guests. They will stand as I call their names. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Donald Neiman, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. Laura Bronstein, Dean, College of Community and Public Affairs. James Brochart, Vice President for Advancement. Zachary Dubord, Professional Staff Senate. Jacob Feinig, Visiting Assistant Professor. Valerie Hampton, Chief Diversity Officer. Sharon Holmes, Associate Professor. Curtis Kendrick, Dean, University Libraries. Gary Keibel, Alumni Association President. Christina Lambright, Associate Dean and Associate Professor and Chair, Department of Public Administration. Gloria Meredith, Founding Dean, School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Pamela Mission, Associate Professor and Faculty Advisor to the President. Candice Mulcahy, Associate Professor. Joanne Navarro, Vice President for Operations. Victoria Rizzo, Associate Professor and Chair, Department of Social Work. Brian Rose, Vice President for Student Affairs. Myra Sabir, Assistant Professor. Susan Strail, Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School and Dean of the Graduate School of Education. Aaron Washburn, Associate Professor. Please join me in applauding these special guests. let me also recognize our esteemed faculty members who have mentored and guided our graduates. Your efforts have been crucial to the intellectual growth and achievements we celebrate today. Will all faculty on the stage and in the audience rise? Please join me as we applaud their support of and dedication to the success of our students. Would also like to recognize our graduates who have earned doctoral degrees, the highest degree conferred by the university. At least one of our graduates is in attendance today and seated with the faculty on the stage. They were hooded and degrees were conferred last night at the doctoral ceremony. Those who are here, please stand to be recognized. I would also like to thank the Binghamton University Wind Symphony, our vocalist, and the Edward J. Maloney Memorial Pipe Band for their participation in today's celebration. This is a joyous time for all of us. However, at a campus as large as our university, it happens that nearly every year there are students, staff, and faculty who have passed away over the course of the academic year. Our campus is a close-knit community, and we grieve the loss of our young and talented students and of our experienced and dedicated faculty and staff. Please join me in a moment of silence in remembrance of them. Thank you. Well, I'm in the 5th year as president of this great institution, so I'm either a super senior or a first-year graduate student. And over these years, our commencement ceremony has become my favorite activity of the year. When I see the sense of pride that each of you has in this accomplishment, I can't help but reflect on my own experience when I received my diploma. What I remember was a tremendous sense of accomplishment, as well as relief in completing a long and taxing job. I felt as if I had climbed a mountain and could now look out on a future filled with opportunities. This degree and the knowledge and talents that it represents will enable you to go far. You have proven that you have the broad perspectives to understand and to empathize, that you have the ability and the tenacity to work through difficult challenges, and that you have the vision and ingenuity to develop innovative solutions to the world's problems. As graduates, the possibilities open to you have increased exponentially. Yet as my mother told me when I graduated many years ago, it's not the degree that is important, but what you do with it that matters. So I'm excited to think about what your future holds for you and for our world. However, before you take the first steps into that future, I hope you will take some time to savor your accomplishments and especially to reflect on what this means to your friends and your family. Share your happiness with them, introduce them to your professors, and spend the day walking through the nature preserve. Take pictures with Baxter and soak up some sun, which is coming out, on the Peace Quad. 10 or 20 years from now, when you reflect on your time at Binghamton, these are the people and the places that will mean the most to you. And tonight, go to a good restaurant because mom and dad are paying, and enjoy a long meal in celebration. But most of all, be sure to tell everyone how much their support means to you. Give everyone a big hug, and before you go to sleep, be sure to think about all the great moments, the signposts that led up to today. The future starts tomorrow, but today, let's just relax and have fun. You've earned it. It's now my pleasure to introduce Provost Donald Neiman.
Good morning. Is our CCPA and GSE students out there? Good morning. Great. This is a wonderful day. It's a happy day, a day that we celebrate your accomplishments. Well, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to commencement and to be among the first to congratulate you, members of the class of 2017. Well done. You are a remarkable group of students. At the time you applied to Binghamton University, you demonstrated that you had the academic ability to succeed at one of the best public universities in the United States. Yes. And since you arrived on our campus, whether as a freshman, a transfer student, or a graduate student, you not only have shown that you are very bright, you've demonstrated that you're hardworking, intellectually curious, and eager to make the most of what this great university has to offer. You've also shown that you have a terrific sense of humor, like to have fun, and care about serving others. You embody the balance that makes Binghamton University such a wonderful place to work and to learn. It's been a pleasure to have you as our students. Congratulations on your many accomplishments. Please stay in touch with us and keep us informed of the many, many accomplishments that lie in your future. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce Laura Bronstein, Dean of the College of Community and Public Affairs, and Susan Strahl, Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School, and Dean of the Graduate School of Education and Distinguished Service Professor of English.
Thank you, Provost Neiman. Welcome and congratulations, current CCPA students, faculty, staff, alumni, graduates, and family and friends of graduates who are all here to honor years spent studying, attending classes, completing internships, sometimes sacrificing wages, vacations, time with loved ones, and not just for a career, but for an education, and for many, a desire to change the world. You may know that Binghamton graduates are among the highest paid professionals over the course of their lifetimes when compared with graduates from most other universities in this country. Graduates of the College of Community and Public Affairs make a lot more than money. Our alums also develop careers dedicated to changing the world. Whether you graduate with a bachelor's from human development because you want to be a person-centered physician, to quote HD President Brandon Berg graduating today, or because you want to work as a lawyer in the public sector, representing families with children with disabilities, or whether you're graduating with a master's in Student Affairs Administration, where you will improve access to college for students for underrepresented minorities and first-generation college students. Or you're graduating with a master's in public administration, where you go on to a career either in the front office of public service, and we count mayors both locally and beyond among our alums, or will you work behind the scenes, making our cities and towns run efficiently and effectively, promoting the highest quality of life for all citizens. Or you're graduating with a master's in social work, and will work in after-school care, where you'll help students be the first in their families to graduate high school and break the cycle of poverty. Or where you'll sit at someone's hospice bedside, holding their hand and providing comfort to patients and families in their last days of life. All these are CCPA bachelor's and master's graduates. Beyond congratulations, I want to add my personal thank you. Thank you to the students that enrich my life every day with your wisdom, your idealism, your passion, and your commitment to continue to fight for social justice, whether the times are welcoming or whether they're grim. And thank you to the faculty and staff on this stage and in the audience who support our students in these efforts. I feel privileged to serve as Dean of CCPA and hope each of you graduating today will feel that about the careers that you launch from your time here. I want to close by citing someone who, like our CCPA graduates, combines wisdom, empathy, and passion in his work, and that's Barack Obama, who, among many other great words, said, "I will never forget that the only reason I'm standing here today is because somebody somewhere stood up for me when it was risky, stood up when it was hard, stood up when it wasn't popular, and because that somebody stood up, a few more stood up, and then a few thousand stood up, and then a few million stood up. And standing up with courage and clear purpose, they somehow managed to change the world." So congratulations, graduates. Go forth with patience, but not too much patience. Thank those who stand up for you and stand up for others. Go forth and change the world. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Susan Strahl, Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School, Dean of the Graduate School of Education, and Distinguished Service Professor in English.
I'm delighted to join in congratulating all of you on your achievements at this ceremony. You've completed ambitious and demanding programs, and you've demonstrated that you can and you will succeed. As graduates of the College of Community and Public Affairs, you will also make a positive difference for individuals and communities through the work you do. You'll change things, create new things, help people, invent programs, connect, and find 100 ways to solve tomorrow's problems. There are teachers among you here because education is joining CCPA in a logical alliance of programs dedicated to making a better world. Teachers, you have an important mission to give your students confidence, interest, knowledge, and hope. You're probably an optimist, and that will help you hope for students at times when they lose hope for themselves. You'll work very hard at preparing your classes, but you'll find that the magic happens when you're listening rather than talking to students. You'll struggle with the regulations, and you may disagree with some of the testing, but your daily work will open real doors for your students. You'll give students tools they can use, including the belief that they can learn, find answers, and figure out challenges. Your most important gifts may become visible only later. You'll give students a repeated model of patience, respect, and good humor, and they will hold onto that more closely than anything you say. You will have challenging days, but your students are going to be transformed by their encounter with you. Think of it this way: the people on this stage and the graduates around you arrived here because of one or more important, inspiring, funny, serious, caring teacher. It's true for me and you too, isn't it? So your work will make a better world, one day and one student at a time, even when you can't see that happening. Commencements are about beginnings, and all graduates of CCPA have some important and valuable accomplishments ahead. We congratulate you for all you've achieved as students at Binghamton University, and will celebrate ongoing news of your success.
Thank you, Dean Strahl and Dean Bronstein. I'm pleased to introduce Gary Keibel, President of the Alumni Association. He'd like to share congratulations on behalf of our Alumni Association.
On behalf of the Binghamton University Alumni Association, it's my pleasure to congratulate you on your fantastic accomplishments. And to celebrate this very special moment, I'm pleased to give each and every one of you a free yet very valuable gift today: lifetime membership in the Binghamton University Alumni Association. You're welcome. This is something truly valuable. You are now a member of an organization with more than 127,000 members in all 50 states and over 100 countries. Your Alumni Association is one of the most important professional and social organizations you will ever join. Believe me, it's a hot ticket. We have almost 4,000 new members joining this weekend alone. I'm sure you've walked around campus at some point wearing a Binghamton sweatshirt or hat. As you move on from school, I encourage you to continue to wear Binghamton on your sleeve. You are now an emissary and ambassador for Binghamton. Your success reflects upon the school and other alumni, and the success of other alumni reflects on you. Among our many accomplished alumni are CEOs and senior management at leading corporations, leaders in the financial and legal industries, the most talented engineers, teachers, nurses, social workers, and professionals of all kinds, including media personalities, movie stars, and even a United States congressman. Does anyone here think they can accomplish something similar? All right. I look forward to the day when there's a poster of you on campus as an accomplished alumni. So as you graduate today, I ask you to take 3 very important steps. Number 1, make sure that you are always digitally connected to Binghamton. Like us on Facebook, join our LinkedIn groups, follow us on Instagram and elsewhere, and visit the alumni page on the Binghamton University website and make sure that your information in our alumni directory, Be Connected, is always up to date. We can't find you for opportunities if you don't first find us. Number 2, don't be a stranger. The Alumni Association holds over 70 events each year around the country. Sign up, show up, and have some fun with your fellow alumni. And number 3, make new Binghamton connections. When you come across another Binghamton graduate, use that common bond as an opportunity to open a door. Tell older alumni how amazing our campus looks. I'm giving this same message to all graduates this weekend. You and I are now connected forever, and I'm looking forward to connecting with my 4,000 new friends. You're a Bearcat for life, and I'm honored to be in the same alumni association as you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gary, for your remarks. I am pleased to introduce Jacqueline Momorski, our graduate student speaker, a passion for public service. This is one of the qualities our graduate student speaker, Jackie Momorski, has, and is also shared by so many of the graduates in the audience today. I had the pleasure of getting to know Jackie when she was a student in my public budgeting and nonprofit finance class this spring. Jackie is currently a graduate scholar at the New York State Assembly. She's also interned in Senator Chuck Schumer's office and the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance's Human Trafficking Program. In addition, she helped organize the Public Service Weekend that the Department of Public Administration hosted this fall to encourage more undergraduates from underrepresented populations to consider a career in public service. And these are just the public service activities that Jackie has been involved in the last year. Tenacity. This is another quality that Jackie has demonstrated. How shall I say this? Budgeting and finance perhaps is not Jackie's first passion. However, she did not let this deter her. She regularly came to my office hours for extra help and to better understand the concepts covered in the course. Her assignments weren't always pretty, but she made it through the class and learned skills that I hope will be beneficial to her in her future career as a public servant. It is for these reasons that I think Jackie is an excellent choice to represent graduating CCPA students. Please join me in welcoming Jackie Momorski.
Hello, friends, classmates, and fellow graduates of the College of Community and Public Affairs and the Graduate School of Education. When I was a young child, I had no idea what it was like to have a voice. Clearly, you see me using my hands, not my vocal cords. Growing up, I learned to adapt to many different skills that could be my voice. Sign language, vocal cords, pen and paper, instant messaging, email, face and body gestures. I learned that having a voice took many different forms, and it meant more than just expressing myself. It meant giving voice to others. However, one voice, my voice, is not enough. Malala Yousafzai once said, "I speak not for myself, but for those without voice, those who have fought for their rights, the right to live in peace, the right to be treated with dignity, the right to equality of opportunity, the right to education. I have a similar passion to give voice to others less fortunate. How can I be the one to fight for other people's rights when I do not have what society expects as perfect speech skills? Can a person with imperfections be the perfect advocate for people with significant struggles? Let's not forget that having a voice is not just about speaking. It's about having the ability to listen to people. It's not about having the ability to hear, but the ability to have empathy and sympathy. It matters how you approach people and learn their stories. You need to understand their life stories and walk in their shoes before you understand why and how you can fight for them. I don't need to hear to learn their stories. I see their stories in their face, their body language, wrinkles, calluses, and scars. People tell their stories without speaking to and what they strive to do. Fellow graduates and future public servants, it is with my imperfect, deaf accent and sign language that I stand here before you today. Like you, not just ready to go out and preach, but to go out and listen. No matter what your personal voice or your political persuasion, don't let it stop you from being a voice for others. Don't just get a diploma and get a good job. Be ready to give back. As Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back." I have my struggles and opportunities as a deaf person. Each of you have your struggles and your successes. Take them both in one hand and hand out your other hand to advocate for people. Be ready to find your voice. Let's applaud all the voices in the room who have already helped each other, including family members, faculty members, advisors, and friends. Without them, we would not be here today to stand and receive our diplomas. Good luck with your future careers. Go class of 2017.
Thank you, Jacqueline, for your remarks. At this time, we will recognize the accomplishments of our master's degree candidates from the College of Community and Public Affairs. Dean Bronstein, please come forward for the presentation of our master's degree candidates from the College of Community and Public Affairs.
Will the candidates for master's degrees from the College of Community and Public Affairs please rise? President Stenger, as Dean of the College of Community and Public Affairs, I'm pleased to present to you these candidates who have fulfilled all their master's degree requirements as prescribed by the faculty. School Marshal Megan Comstock and Student Marshal Elan Katzen, please lead the master's candidates in the Department of Public Administration to the platform so that all may receive recognition for their academic achievement.
Okay, great, okay. Megan Nicole Comstock. Elone Katzen. Soraya Cruz Bonilla. Jacqueline Mamorsky. Donmin Wang. Tyrone Lee. Catherine Kelly Fawnin. Emily Grace Mancini. Casey Michelle Marlowe. Songhae Jeon. Michael K. Treeman. Sean J. Britton. Taylor Marie Grew. Jennifer E. Pincus. Cecilia Maria Diamond. Gabriela Avila. Celine Marie Nemi. Vincent Gorella. Benjamin Price. Lee Ann McCullen. Oh gosh. Oh, sorry. Stephanie Marie Yazzie. Now, Lee Ann McCullen. Catherine Davis Hendrickson. Margaret Ann Gates. Denray Liu. Ashley Deneen Pruitt. Yuan Wang. Mo Chen. Elizabeth Ellen Pisani Woodruff. Do you need a bag? Nicole Louise Blagg. Monica Tulua Nuvong. Nicole Marie Jordan. Oh, Nicole. Oh, sorry. Carolina Garcia. Diana Stephanie Reyes. Wishad Akeem. Melissa Vargas. Philip Sung Hong. Alexis So Hong. Man Shui Lam. Helen Lee.
Department Marshal Rebecca Jameson, please lead the master's candidates in the Department of Social Work to the platform so they may all receive recognition for their academic achievement.
Rebecca Park Jameson. Casey Elizabeth Benson. Shi-An Burgess. Brandy M. Lawson. Lauren Natasha Grossman. Michael Cole. Diana Lynn Campbell. Alexis Lorraine Trainum. Tiffany C.V. Howell. Amy Lynn Peserchik. Brenda Schwartz-Jacquin. Eileen M. Fleming. Leanna Michelle Kaplan. Anya Andrea Brumer. Denise E. Matheson. Jennifer M. Campoli. Merritt I. Hartblag. Christine Rachel Hill. Jesse R. Belton. Chelsea Joe Shaw. Heather Ray Wall. Courtney Lynn Alstead. Morgan Lynn Muller. Christina Louise Hust. LaWanda R. Robinson. Bridget Karen Hathaway. Kathleen Ann Kratz. Sarah Ann Miller. Kaylee Thompson. Megan Mary Keiss. Kimberly A. Griswold. Sharon Eve Lenore. Samantha Marie Collins. Elizabeth Ellen Pisani Woodruff. Nicole Louise Blogg. Monica Nuvong. Nicole Marie Jordan. Carolina Garcia. Diana Stephanie Reyes. Janisa Janelle Thorne. Clark Sulia. Autumn Loke. Joseph Louis Tristan. Danielle Keenan. Megan Colleran. Heidi Karen Gore. Michelle Lynn Benedict. Brittany Ibe Santos.
Department Marshal Christina Lindley, please lead the master's candidates in the Department of Student Affairs Administration to the platform so that all may receive recognition for their academic achievement.
Christina Lemley, Megan Comstead, Benjamin Price, Lynn Taylor Morris, Grace Natalie Eggers, Brittany Lauren Beach, William Torche, Brady Sean Turner, Nicholas J. Finessi, Thomas Jude Muscarello, Matthew T. Uden, Jatanisha M. Davis,
Graduates, families, I'm Erin Washburn, and I am an Associate Professor of Literacy Education in the Graduate School of Education. Oh, y'all can sit down. You're like, how long is she gonna talk, right? I'm so pleased to be with you all today and to have the chance to introduce our student speaker from the Graduate School of Education, Peter Gierlach. Peter is a master's student in the literacy program, actually a graduate today, for literacy in grades 5 through 12. Peter received his bachelor's degree in social studies education from SUNY Oswego and is currently teaching 8th grade social studies at Windsor Middle School. It has been an honor, a privilege, and a joy working with and learning from Peter over the past 2 years. Peter is not only an outstanding, hardworking, insightful, and thoughtful student, but he is a stellar teacher. And teachers, let's face it, that's hard to say in your first year, right? Right. On numerous visits to Peter's classroom, I saw students engaged in collaborative learning, asking hard and relevant questions, purposefully immersed in literacy learning, and having fun. According to Peter's students, which I interviewed without his permission, his class is one of their favorite places to be, and he's a popular teacher because he makes learning fun and, like real. With such a strong start to his career as a teacher, I have no doubt that Peter will continue to impact the lives of our students here in the Southern Tier and perhaps beyond. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Peter Gierlach.
Thank you, Dr. Washburn, and hello to everybody here, parents, students, people in funny hats. So, to everyone graduating today, I guess we're adults now, right? That's how it works? Yes, woo indeed. It's interesting. Every culture has its own rites of passage into adulthood. Some go on amazing quests. Some require their youth to undertake grueling physical and mental challenges, like sitting in an arena when you're really hungry and you're just thinking about lunch. I think we got the sweet end of that deal. Thinking about adulthood, myself and a lot of my friends here today have said that after today, we are done. That after all this school, there is no more learning, no more curiosity. Our brains are going to be on autopilot for the remaining decades. But when you really think about that notion, it's a very sad notion to think about, because I'm a new teacher. And what drives us teachers crazy is when a student says that they're done, that they don't want to learn anymore, that their curiosity has seemingly wilted away. It's heartbreaking to know that they may not accomplish what they're capable of, or that they may never find that brilliance that's inside of them. And yet, how many of us here today have said that we're done and have resigned ourselves to the sidelines of life? How many of us see wonder, amazement, and curiosity as mere artifacts that are etched deep within the recesses of our minds? It is so easy to go home, turn on the TV, and check out. I mean, we sent a man to the moon, but I hate the idea of getting up to change the channel when I can't find the remote. And by the way, there's an app for that now, so we're good. But that scenario is true for just about all of us, me especially. And to me, it just shows how easy it is to be done. But life does not wait for the idle. The river of experience does not pull in those on the banks. We have to jump in ourselves. For us to dust off our inherent zeal for life, we have to take those leaps of faith and experience the unknown. We have to take those risks, try those new things, develop those new skills. And most importantly, we have to fail. We have to be courageous enough to put ourselves out there knowing that some failure is inevitable, but also knowing that the road to success is not freshly laid asphalt, but rather a bumpy road made up of the fragments of our success, pieced together with the glue of our determination. That risk, that curiosity, that desire to experience the unknown can never leave us. And we need to remember that, because that road to fulfillment starts with the realization that nobody in this room is done. Every day we get 86,400 seconds that we never get refunded, but that we all get replenished each and every morning. That time in itself is a gift we need to cherish and use to the best of our abilities. And as long as it's there, we can use it to indulge that curiosity, that desire to learn, that desire to do something special. So whether you're wearing light-up sneakers, a shirt and tie, or you're in a glorified bathrobe, always remember to stay hungry, because you never know what you can accomplish. And stay curious, because you never know what type of brilliance you may find within you. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter, for those remarks. At this time, we will recognize the accomplishments of our master's degree candidates from the Graduate School of Education. Dean Strail, please come forward for the presentation of our master's degree candidates from the Graduate School of Education.
Will the candidates for master's degrees from the Graduate School of Education please rise? President Stenger, as Dean of the Graduate School of Education, I am pleased to present to you these candidates who have fulfilled all their master's degree requirements as prescribed by the faculty. Student Marshal Victoria Santucci, please lead the master's candidates in the Graduate School of Education to the platform so that all may receive recognition for their academic achievement.
Victoria A. Santucci, Lindsay A. Verdon, Courtney B. Cummings, Julianne Ruggiero, Sasha V. Keys, Ilana A. Ginsberg, Emily J. West, John M. Gossin-Saliga, Stephanie E. Hetherington, Jessica L. Doherty, Elise M. Masterson, Lauren A. Macaluso, Jordan E. Lubali, Alexis Aston, Peter A. Gierlach, Andrea P. Bazin, Vanessa L. Snyder, Kelly M. Severance, Lindsay L. Church, Emily L. Rose. Jennifer R. Carrieri. Jameson A. Weslis. Dylan Hartwick. Which one's which? Michelle Thompson. Wait. Stephanie A. Waite. Mimi Sue. Erica N. McKendry. Jacqueline N. Carlson. Amari Jamil Snyder. Serene K. Artino. Kaylee Maicon. Sorry. Noel Passeri.
Master's candidates from the College of Community and Public Affairs, please rise. Master's candidates from the Graduate School of Education, please rise. President Stenger, as Dean of the College of Community and Public Affairs, I'm honored to present to you these candidates for master's degrees in Public Administration, Social Work, and Student Affairs Administration.
President Stenger, as Dean of the Graduate School of Education, I am honored to present to you these candidates for master's degrees in education.
For those who have successfully completed all degree requirements by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York and the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York, I confer on each of you the appropriate master's degree with all the rights and privileges which pertain to that degree here and elsewhere. On behalf of the Binghamton University community, I congratulate you all for this well-earned accomplishment.
Recipients of master's degrees from the College of Community and Public Affairs and Graduate School of Education may be seated.
It is my great pleasure to introduce Amber Decker, our student speaker. But before I do, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. As faculty, we always learn from our students, and sometimes more than they learn from us. They question us, they push us, and they make it difficult for us to stand still. Student commencement speeches are perhaps the one occasion where this is even truer than in everyday classroom interactions. Far from being mere rituals, students condense years of learning and experience into a few moments of talk. I had the pleasure of getting to know Amber in my research methods class as an outstanding, hardworking, and very thoughtful student. Her achievements at Binghamton are way too many to list here, and I will name only a few. She has worked with the Dean of Students, the Fleischman Center, among many other things, and also with the President's agenda-setting roadmap team. As her former instructor, I look very much forward to hearing what she has to tell us about CCPA, about her graduations, and about the future. Please join me in welcoming Amber Decker.
Welcome friends, family, faculty, staff, administration, mom, and most importantly, CCPA Class of 2017. Yeah. It is my utmost honor to speak to you all this afternoon. As I was previously introduced, my name is Amber Decker. To give you some background on who I am, I love quotes, being kind, laughing, and a job. No, seriously, I'm still unemployed, so if anybody needs my resume, you can email me at adecker7@binghamton.edu. President Sanger is my reference, so I swear I'm qualified. CCPA Class of 2017. We have struggled yet strive together. We began as innocent freshmen who didn't know what the rat was, and now we're professionally developed individuals who want to take on and change the world. Some of us came to Binghamton knowing exactly what we wanted to do, and some of us were convinced that CCPA was the right fit for our lofty dreams and goals. No matter where our journey started, we all stand in the same place today, overlooking our future and nervously anticipating our next moves. Walking across this stage today, it represents our identity as a cohort. We represent the best that this university has to offer. As HDEV students, because honestly saying human development is way too long, sometimes our academic rigor and validity has been challenged. While other people were memorizing parts of the body or learning formulas, the CCPA students were doing something different, unique, and astonishing. We were learning how to make change, how to give love, how to understand development, and how differences allow us to strive and be beautiful. How many students can say that they've engaged in peaceful and politically charged conversations? How many students can say that they have provocatively analyzed the intersectional perspective of gender, race, and class norms? How many students can say that they've engaged in an environment where they were a racial minority in order to evaluate their social positionality? Well, how many? That's how many students are sitting in front of me. What sets us apart in CCPA is an emotion we've all been faced with. Something different, scary, and unnerving. Vulnerability. To have shined in the tasks that we've been given as HDEV students, we have to put ourselves out there. Vulnerability is one of the scariest things to address as a human. To reveal yourself in your truest form, for the fear of rejection is evident. Vulnerability is something we rarely express, let alone talk about. Who here has ever thought, well, geez, I would love to be vulnerable and talk about it today with all of my peers? Well, probably no one. But that's what our last 4 years have been. Over the course of those 4 years, the inside of the downtown center has seen us at our most exposed. DC 102 has seen our shells wither away as Merriweather displayed horrific images of Cambodian orphans. G2 challenged us to understand equitable education, and Yale provided evidence of racial police brutality. Each year, we have unknowingly allowed our academic exterior to become second thought as we transformed our vulnerability into action. The moment we exposed our minds to CCPA, we were innately changed and revolutionized into forward thinkers and agents of change. So as the 2017 class of the College of Community and Public Affairs, the world awaits us. The world of today does not just await our academic qualifications and professional skills. It awaits our vulnerability. It awaits our passion for change, our drive for reform and social justice, and our perseverance for making the world a better place. So class of 2017, I want to challenge you. I challenge you to critically consider who you are in this world of chaos. I challenge you to embrace moments of exposure and allow them to grow your heart. I challenge you to be vulnerable. So as our beloved Dr. Yule would say, be the person who makes that difference. Be the person who creates change. Recognize the necessity of the people around you and use your talents to provide such things. Now I think it's time for a snack. Thank you.
I am Amber's reference, so give her a job if anybody's got one out there. Thank you, Amber, for your remarks. At this time, we will recognize the accomplishments of our baccalaureate degree candidates. Dean Bronstein, please come forward for the presentation of our baccalaureate candidates from the College of Community and Public Affairs.
First, we'll recognize students who've achieved Latin honors. Latin honors are based on a student's cumulative grade point average. We recognize 3 levels of achievement: cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. The names of the candidates for these honors appear in your commencement program. We'll not announce each by name, but we shall recognize students attending today by having them stand in place. Candidates graduating cum laude, please rise. You may be seated. Candidates graduating magna cum laude, please rise. And candidates graduating summa cum laude, please rise. My congratulations to all of you on your outstanding academic achievements. Now will all baccalaureate degree candidates please rise? President Stenger, as Dean of the College of Community and Public Affairs, I'm pleased to present to you these candidates who have fulfilled all their baccalaureate degree requirements as prescribed by the faculty. Student Marshal Adam Centeno, please lead the candidates to the platform so all may receive recognition for their academic achievement.
Adam Louis Centeno. Catherine E. Ijito. David H. Kaya. Emma Lauren Kleinberg. Haley Elizabeth Downen. Michael A. Galvin. Michelle A. Galvin. Alyssa K. Felinsky. Kelly M. Leach. Allison Paige Hovey. Amanda Nicole Marsh. Caroline Clark Freilich. Abigail Evelyn Parsons. Valerie Alexa Protas. Michael Katz. Sarah Saad. Tara Hanau. Talia Geller Schwartz. Eliana Leora Horwitz. Joseph D. Benedetto. Carissa A. Farrell. Rebecca B. Feynman. Emily Jean Olander. Julie Helena Barrett. Daniela Julia Moraski. And Checkers Moraski, of course. Amanda R. O'Connor. Hannah Theodora Wachropsky. Lauren Elise Gorodes. Shannon V. Cook. Samantha Edwards. Raquel Sarah Penitz. Charlotte K. Kurtz. Caitlin Ann Rotkamp. Double major in Applied Behavior Analysis Psychology. Rachel J. Shaw, double major in Psychology. Epiphany Azaria Munoz. Jody N. Morrell. Lindsay Michelle Humphrey. Caitlin Christine Burns. Elena Haviv. Wendy Huang. Lisa He. Julia Naomi Bover. Alexa S. Bergenfeld. Courtney F. Schiff. Emily Rose Zawatsky. Marla E. Feld. Avery Levine. Paige Samantha Krez. Carly Frances Wisniewski. Sarah J. Bassan. Stephanie Joy Seufer. Brenda M. Generowitz. Michael Michelle Dana Spielman. Deshaun Kerr Williams. Nure Saidzadi. Andrew Dean Berger. Kayla Elizabeth Villani. Margaret Marie Harton. Megan T. Duncan. Anna Isabel Herbert. Brandon J. Berg, Reichel Searles Memorial Award. James N. Reese. Madison R. Wegner. Abigail Lynn Arnold. Amber C. Decker. Megan Andrews. Janet Ann Sotomayor Ranucci. Jessica A. Chipola. Sarah Rebecca Cohen. Chelsea Rose Doyle. Christopher M. Jung. Elizabeth F. Vainblatt. Lesha Maria Daniluk. Nicole Elizabeth Tantalo. Alejandra M. Sanchez. Jasmine Connor Powell. Latasha Rosemarie Exit. Angela Marie Sager. Nicole Heim. Iris W. Greenspan B. Chelsea V. Briggs. Alexa Amoroso. Jiwon Cha. Colleen Lim. Angelica Marie Carosi. Aliza Beth Bloom. Rebecca Hannah Atlas. Veronica Polyakova, Heidi and Joel Thayer Award for Leadership and Community Service. Mallory Cohen. Austin R. Levine. Matthew Thomas Callahan. Courtney Elizabeth Smith. Brianna Nicole Deritis. Marissa Catherine Heenan. Stephanie Ann Marion. Shianti F. Cochran. Sierra Frances McDowell. Aseneth L. Elliott. Amanda Rowe. Peggy Pan. Jessica Paliez. Rahilu Diallo. Bradley R. Vasquez Valdez, Louis and Mimi Del Valle Latina Achievement Award. Tylik Marquis Curry. Danny Abraham Matthew. Hillary Laura Hernandez. Henry Ghani. Urena C. Gwaguku.
I'm supposed to ask all baccalaureate candidates to please rise, but I think you've already done that. So, President Stenger, I'm honored to present to you these candidates for the baccalaureate degree by the university.
For those who have successfully completed all degree requirements, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York, I confer on each of you the appropriate baccalaureate degree with all the rights and privileges accompanying it. On behalf of the Binghamton University community, I congratulate you all for this well-earned accomplishment. As is customary upon conferral of the baccalaureate degree, you may now move the tassel on your cap from the right to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, partners, and friends, I present to you the Binghamton University's Master's and Baccalaureate College of Community and Public Affairs Graduate School of Education graduating class of 2017.
Everyone, please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats as we sing the Binghamton University alma mater. We invite everyone to join vocalist Michelle Thompson in singing the refrain and second verse. The lyrics may be found on the back cover of the commencement program.
In the rolling hills of Binghamton, 'neath ever-changing skies, where two gently flowing rivers meet, we form our cherished ties. Oh, Binghamton, we carry thee with us for all our time, and through us individually, forever may you shine. Together we spend these years, united in our aim, through our bold pursuit of excellence, we proudly bear your name. Oh, Binghamton, we carry thee with us for all our time, and through us individually, forever may you shine. Forever may you shine.
All graduates, family, and friends are welcome to join us at the University Downtown Center immediately following the ceremony for a grand reception. We hope you'll be there.
The spring commencement proceedings of the State University of New York at Binghamton are now concluded. We kindly ask the audience to remain seated for the academic recessional. Once the academic recessional is completed, please exit as soon as you are able to allow the families of the next ceremony graduates to enter.
Thank you.